Hi guys, it's me again, and today I thought we would go over some of my crazy, weird, curious craft creations. And majority of these are for sale in the shop. Some of them are projects that I did for myself, and I just thought you might be interested, and so I thought I would share them with you. So here we go, guys. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to shoot a video here, dude. Okay, guys. Well, as you can tell, there's quite a bit that I want to share with you. I've been really busy doing craft projects the last couple weeks. Some of these are going to be for sale in the shop. Some of them are keepers for me, and I will definitely let you know which is which. And it doesn't have to be something that you buy. You can just watch this for fun. It will give you some great ideas on projects for yourself that you could tackle over the weekend, anything like that. First item here is an old box, trinket box, coffin box. I have no idea what it's called, but it's got glass on 3 sides here in the front, and then another little window in the top here. This is something I picked up at, I think it was Mocha Moose Cafe. I got it for a really good price. I can't remember. But it's been sitting empty now for months and months, probably 6 months or more, just because I haven't been able to figure out what to put in it. And it just hit me all of a sudden, as things do. You know, sometimes you'll stare at things and I'll be like, oh, that might work. So I had this brass hand that's just kind of laying around, and little tiny blue butterfly, which I thought would match really well with that little velvet lining on the inside. So this is one of the projects I did for myself. I just hadn't figured out until now what to do with it. These guys right here, these are just cloches, you know, the glass domes with the bases. And these are for sale in the shop. This is a big hand. Smaller hand. Basically, I just doodled on them. Kind of like a tattoo type thing. And they are articulated wooden hands. So what you can do is move the fingers. So you can have it holding something or have jewelry on the fingers, anything like that. And I just put the heart with the crown and some little hearts down here. And these articulated hands aren't that expensive. You can buy them. And the cloches, you can get those probably at Hobby Lobby. Pick something like that up and do one yourself. Okay, next up we have this guy. I don't know if you watched my most recent video where I thrifted at Goodwill and I never find anything. Well, and I actually got lucky this time. So this is one of the old vintage like glass apothecary jars that I found. I think it was like $1 or $1.99. And this is what I did with it. I just added some pretty moss and some of those papery flowers, some of the pink amethyst, and some of the blue bees. And I stuck the one, I just kind of twirled the wire around something to make it kind of do that curly cue, and that's it. Pretty simple and easy to do. And this is one of the pieces that is listed in the shop. Another item that I got listed in the shop that I did was this guy right here. And it's just a little mini cloche that you can get like I said, probably at Hobby Lobby. And here we go again with some more moss. And that is a moth, pretty moth, with the pink in it. It says free to fly. And then I just stuck it on like one of those old, that's something I thrifted. They were made for like drink cups or something like that. And I just used it to kind of add a little bit of interest to this piece. These gals right here are basically just, you know, a doll head. Just a lonely little doll head. And you can usually pick those up pretty much anywhere. You can get them online or at an antique store or something. I like these because they don't have the eyes in them. And I used basically just a salvaged parts, you know, like to lamps or anything like that as a base. And I put a little pieces of salvaged silver from like little, you know, like maybe sugar bowl or something like that on the tops to give them little hats. And there's this one. And basically what's great about these is like little tea lights. I guess I should say not like a tea light, more like a strand of those little, what are they called? Fairy lights, I guess. Just shove them up inside of here in the base. And then at nighttime, you'll get that glow coming out of the eyes, which I think is really cool. But these guys are in the shop for sale. Or, like I said, you could make them yourself out of salvaged material. And then next up, I got this guy, which this is a keeper. It's just a beetle that I mounted in a little teeny tiny cloche. And I like him so much because he's like one of those turquoise. I just love the colors. I think the colors are awesome. Just drilled a hole in the base. Used a piece of wire, mounted him to the wire. And there you go. Little awesome tidbit to stick in your cabinet of curiosities or whatever. This is another keeper. I had shown you guys this before. I had the closed ones because the underside of these butterflies is just so pretty. But I went ahead and ordered another one that's got the wings open. And added him into here too. And again, it's just basically some moss on the bottom. And I just took a branch from a tree outside and stuck it in there. And that's basically all I did. So another little tiny piece, but you know, it's interesting. And I love nature, so. Now these guys are in frames that I thrifted at Goodwill. And so they're vintage frames, and I didn't pay more than $1 or $2 a piece. And I'm sorry about my reflection, but it's sunny outside right now and the reflection off of the snow, so it's putting a lot of glare on here. But those are basically just papery flowers again, and some more moss, butterfly, and more moss and flowers. Same thing on this one right here. Let me move this over so maybe I can get it out of the glare. And same thing, just a different butterfly, basically. This one's got one of those tags on it that I had my mom do for me, stamp. And then I have some smaller ones. And these I'm not keeping any of these. These are all for sale in the shop. This one, all of these frames are thrifted from Goodwill. Another tag. This one has a pretty purple color in it when you have light reflect on it. And the reason why I picked these frames, of course, because they're thick and it lets me, you know, put something like that in there. So if you look for deeper frames, you can usually thrift them at Goodwill and get you some decorative paper, and you can do these yourself. I got 2 more. Sorry for the moving around. This guy right here. And this is the last one. This one right here. Okay, this little gal here, I don't know how well you're gonna see because of the sun shining in the window, but it says dream big, and she's standing on a hand, and I have a bunch of little teeny tiny little metal roses. She's wearing like a little lace dress, little tiny porcelain doll, and she's holding a flower, and she's got a flower on her head. I'm sorry about the camera with the focusing in and out. Here, let's take the lid off of it. There you go. You can see her a little bit better. She's just a little tiny little thing. She's only like maybe 3 inches tall. Just a little itty bitty. But there's the roses on there and the hand she's standing on. Why I decided to do this, I have no idea. It just kind of came to me all of a sudden. But this is something that you can do yourself too. Just get all the little bits and put it together. It's all you need is a drill and some super glue and a hot glue gun. And this is in the shop. Well, I'm trying to make room here, guys. Now, these little bits right here, I made more of these. If you've been subscribed to me for a while, you know that I had a run-in with a white hornet's nest. And I won. They were mean as all get out, right outside my back door. So this is the nest, basically. Just bits of the nest. And it's like real thin paper. And I've got these listed in the shop. And this guy right here, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a post that I did about some hands that I found. I don't know if they're off of Santos. I have no idea. But they're all different sizes. They're fairly large hands. But basically what I did, as you can tell, I have this I have this addiction to cloches. But I used a drill and drilled in the base, you know, kind of checked out the positioning and the measurements and everything like that for spacing them out and getting them how I wanted to, you know, display them. But some of them were hollow, and basically all I did was take a piece of cork and stick it in the hand, and then stuck the you know, the wire through that to hold it up in an upright position the way I wanted it. So, here, let me take this off here. But you can see all the different hands. And I think it turned out pretty good. I like it. So, this is my keeper. And I do have another bit that's coming to go in this cloche with these hands. It's going to kind of have a saying on it, and then kind of drape down from the center. But I'll show you guys that once I get that piece and give you an update in the future on that. Now, this is in the shop. Another articulated hand, and I just added bits and pieces. These are brass stampings, and you can purchase these online, and they're butterflies. And I just basically did the same thing. I drilled into the pointing finger here, and then just curled some wire and added another of the brass stamping butterfly. You know, the fingers move and everything. You can put it in whatever position you want to put it in. But that's all. That's it. Nothing spectacular to it. I don't know why I come up with it, but I did. And I sold the one, so I made another one. And the hand itself is about 7 inches tall. And when you add the butterfly to it, or whatever you want to add to it, it adds about another 2 to 3 inches to the height of it. So now this guy, as you can tell, I have a thing for hands too. But this guy right here is a large metal hand that I have mounted into, here we go again, another cloche. But I have put a beautiful cicada on the top of the hand, and it's just an awesome display piece. And this is I think this is larger than even the hand cloche. It's actually pretty big. That cicada in there is a large one, but I loved it because of the yellow. So, and this guy over here is a keeper. This is, see, I'm getting my ring light now. You get to see my ring light. It's got a loop on the butterfly wing. But this one is just an old bubble top, you know, frame. And I just put a leather tag on here stamped from my mother. She used to be a bookbinder. And this is going along with the one that I already made for myself, which was more of a turquoise color instead of this real deep cobalt blue. And it's just going to match, so I'll have the set here, and I use the same kind of tag. This is available in the shop, and it is just kind of an aluminum piece. It's like a little shadow box type. It's got this little niche in here. I think it's Mexican, maybe. And I just loved it because I thought it was cool because of the star shape. And on the inside, I just put a piece of pretty paper in there to let the butterfly kind of stand out. And then just put a butterfly in there that would fit. And as you can see, it's got that on the back there. It's kind of, you know, deep, so it'll hold something like that. But you could put any kind of insect in here, and that would work. Whatever, you know, you just have to make sure it'll fit in there. And then this is a keeper. This is one of mine. This guy right here, I just fell in love with the color and the different striations and stuff you can see in the wings. I just thought it was gorgeous. So I snagged that for my collection. The cicada. I just love that blue color. I just think it's so pretty. And I'm going to have to move stuff around here, guys. There's more. Okay. Let me see. Well, let's move you over this way so you can slide forward. This is a keeper. This is basically just sitting on top of here. This is something that I actually... I can't remember where I found this. It might have been Goodwill. It's just a metal piece. I don't know what the heck was on top of it, what it was meant for, but it fits. This fits on there perfectly. And that ring light is getting on my nerves. Turn it the other way. There we go. But it's just a bat. And put some moss in there. And that is an old... Here, I'll show you the bottom of it. See right here? Real Roses. Bowl O' Beauty Company. So this is a vintage piece. It had a rose in it. And this is what I turned it into. Right here. And if you have an issue with taxidermy, you know, the people that I get and source from, they get everything. It's all ethically sourced and everything. So, I got that guy. And then this gal over here. I haven't decided on this one. I haven't decided if I'm putting this one in the shop or if I'm keeping it or not. But same concept with the other ones. I just used a salvage piece. An old doll head. And then she has a really big hole in the back of her head. Look at that. So because of the fact I didn't want it getting wet and wicking up all the water, I just stuck a fake plant in the back of there. And I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool like that. Kind of Medusa thing going on, but I got that. Now, let's see. I'm trying to look around and see if I've shown... Oh, no, I haven't. The reason why I'm showing you this, these are, I think they're pheasant feet, is because I have some that I've made that they're still in the process. I haven't quite finished them, but they're along the same lines as this one, the same concept. This one is a round frame, and the ones that I normally sell in my shop are a square frame, but they're real silver and pretty, kind of an antique-y look to them. And I used the feet on the bottom, and then I have like a metal coming out of the back to kind of keep it in an upright position with these crazy feet on here. Yeah, but this is mine. This is the one that I have, but the square ones are available in the shop if you wanted to get something like that, but it's definitely a unique piece. Needless to say, I never thought in a million years, I don't know why I come up with this, but it's a hot item and it sells really well. So if you guys got chicken feet or anything like that laying around, then you can make one of these frames if you want to. Okay, now this other piece I have to show you is a big piece, and I think I'm probably going to list this in the shop because I don't have any more wall space. I have no more wall space. Let me see if I can get it. And basically, it's just one of those old, one of those old frames that they used for insects. And, oh, here we go. I'm going to have to go back on this so you can see it better. But you're getting a reflection. So, it's a riker, I think it's called, riker frame. But there's just a bunch of little tidbits in here. Little tiny tidbits. Asthmatic cigarettes. This is off of, I can't remember, I think it might be Oddfellows or Masonic, some Masonic. William Shakespeare, cicada, tintype, calling card, Victorian calling card, a little invoice book, or not an invoice book, I think it's actually tickets for ice and coal. And those letters are those old letters that they used to put in their window. And I had to actually kind of cut them down a little bit to make them fit into this riker frame and put them in there. And they weren't really that sticky anymore, so I had to use some Scotch tape to stick them, and it was kind of hard to get to get them to go in there the way I wanted them to go in there because you're doing it backwards. So that was a lot of fun. But this little silver soldier, and then there's a little seed pod, an old stamp from the same year that the Titanic went down, a piece of an old spine of a book that my mother had, put a new cover on. There's some frozen Charlottes, another calling card, a vintage silver baby spoon with a little baby head in it. And just a dried flower I put behind it. I think that might be a cow tag or something. I'm not sure. Needles. A little thing I picked up. It says, I think, what does that say? Once upon a time. There you go. That's an old medicine bottle. And then this is just, an old pin. So, just a collage of a lot of things, basically. So, yeah, I probably am going to list this because I don't have the room for it. I may swap out a few items just because there are a few bits in here that I wanted to keep. But other than that, the majority of it's going to stay right the way it is. So guys, I hope you had an awesome time going over my projects, and giving you some of your own ideas, hopefully, to do some projects yourself at home. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and also let me know too, what would be really awesome is what you like the best. What was your favorite project? And if there's a project that you're going to try to tackle yourself at home. I'd love to hear from you guys. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram too. So until next time, guys, see you later.